For student information sessions. My name is Quynh Killpack. I am an international admissions counselor at Westminster, and I have a lot of people joining me today, so I'm just going to let everybody introduce themselves. Let's see. So let's go around. Let's say our name, where we're from, and job title, or maybe your major and year in college. So again, my name is Nguyen. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and yeah, I'm an admissions counselor. And I'm gonna pass it on to Örn.
Sure. Hello, everybody. So I'm Örn Bodvarsson. I'm the Dean of the Bill and Vieve Gore School of Business here at Westminster College and a professor of economics. I am originally from Reykjavik, Iceland. So I am an immigrant, but I grew up in Oregon. And I have been an international student because I got my PhD in Canada, in Vancouver, British Columbia. So I do know what it is like to be an international student. But admittedly, if you go to Canada to be an international student from the US, it's not as big of a change as if you, let's say, go to China or Europe. But I know what it's like to be an international student.
Thank you, Örn. Great. V.
So hi everyone, my name is V, and hopefully I'm not muted again. So I'm originally from Hanoi, Vietnam, and I've been here in Salt Lake City for 4 years for school. And to be honest with you guys, like Westminster College is such a great place for me because I feel like after 2 years of college as community college and then transfer to like a liberal school, I feel like it's a perfect fit for me here at Westminster. And my major is accounting, and I love business department for sure because all the professors, my favorite. My advisor Chelsea is awesome, and also all the faculty and staff are amazing. And I hopefully you guys will consider Westminster College because it's such a diversity campus, and you guys will always be welcome here.
Thank you. Hey, H, you want to go next, and then Nathan and Tal.
All right. So hi everyone. I'm Nguyen, and I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. I'm also the senior student going on accounting at Westminster College.
Then you want me to go win? Okay, so my name is Nathan Jones. I'm the Director of International Admissions at Westminster, and I am originally from the state of Virginia, Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia, and it's a beautiful lake, but I wanted to explore the western portion of the United States. I've lived in a lot of different places. I lived in Lugano, Switzerland for 2 years, recruiting international students from there, but I had never really gotten to explore much of the western United States. So I found Westminster College and I applied for a job. I got it. And now I'm really having a great time exploring the West. As you can see, the photo behind me is one of the pictures I took on one of my hiking trips here about 25-30 minutes from our campus. So welcome, everyone.
So hi everybody, my name is Tal. I'm one of the transfer enrollment coordinators in the admissions office. Similar to Nathan's story, originally from the East Coast, New York. Spent some time in Pittsburgh for about 3 years, and I made my way out west to Salt Lake City, Utah, and yeah, haven't looked back. I moved here in October. I started at Westminster in November. It's really flown by since I've been here. So Westminster's a great place, and happy to be here and happy to have everybody here.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. So just some quick items. So we tonight we're going to have 40 minutes of prepared presentations for you guys. You're going to get to hear from me and Tal. We will talk about, just the applications, requirements, and admission related things. And then you get to hear from Örn. He will talk to you about our School of Business. And then you'll get to hear from V and Ing, which is our current international students at Westminster, sharing their experience about like studying here. And then the last 15 minutes, we're gonna open up the floor for everybody to participate and send in your questions. So yeah, if you would like, if you're new to Microsoft Teams, you can see, like, look for that little bubble messenger icon, and you can see the chat. And then you can just type your questions in there. So as you're listening to the presentations, if any questions come up, just go ahead and put it in there. We're here for you, and we really want to make sure that we address your questions. So feel free to leave it in there. And yeah, and this panel is being recorded. So if you want to review it again because you missed some important information, you can always go back. With that, I am going to start sharing my screen, and me and Tal gonna start our presentations. So let's see. Okay, please let me know if you see my screen. And somebody say something because I can't see anyone.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So yeah, so we're just gonna have a really quickly go through the applications requirement. So yeah, how about Tal, do you want to start?
Yeah, definitely. So with our application process for a transfer student, it's very, very easy. So all you have to do is fill out the free application. You can either do the Common App or through our Westminster College website. Through the Westminster College website, it takes about 10-15 minutes. It's completely free and online. Next, after that, we will need all official transcripts from all colleges. So I have heard that potentially a number of the attendees have attended SLIC or currently attending SLIC. So we will need the official transcripts from your current institution, but also any other schools that you've attended previous to SLCC as well. Depending on how many, or if you haven't attended at all, just SLCC. But just because SLCC accepted those credits, we still will need to look at the original transcript from the other post-secondary institutions that you've attended. But other than that, free application, all documents, and that's all you need in order to your application to be processed, and the decision very, very soon after that.
Yeah. So for international students, if I don't think if anybody transferring from outside of the US is here with us tonight, but if you attended, like if you're currently in Salt Lake City right now, but you've attended college outside of the US, then we will also request the professional transcript evaluation. And you would work with a company, like a third company, and they will do these professional transcript evaluation, and they'll basically kind of like explain what your course, let's say you take some classes in a Vietnamese university and what the equivalence of those classes in the US system. And then besides transcript, we will also need proof of English proficiency. So if you're, and I will have a slide to talk about that later. So there's many ways to fulfill the proof of English proficiency. And yep, I will revisit this. And then we also start to accept the CSS profile, which is an international need-based financial aid form. So this is really cool because you can, besides your merit-based, which is the academic scholarship, international students are also eligible to apply for need-based grants, and we will talk more about that. And over here, I have some recommended timeline. So for fall entry, if you can apply by March 1st, so just make a mental note of like, when do you want to enter Westminster, right? And then when do you need to apply? So for example, if you want to start next fall 2022, then you need to start up the applications in the beginning of that year. So in the January, and then submit everything in March. For spring, it would be September 30th. And this is a recommended timeline, so you have enough time to finish your student visa paperwork and interview and all of that. But if you're already in the US, then we can just work with you, and it would be simpler. Okay, perfect. So English proficiency requirements. So if you are transferring from another U.S. college, for example, Salt Lake Community College, we just need to look at your transcripts that show at least 15 college level credits. So for example, at Salt Lake Community College, it would be 1,000s and above. And we would just need to see your grades, and then we will count that as like you can pass the English proficiency requirement that way. Or if you're transferring from outside of the US, or if you haven't taken that many classes at your current college, then you can submit a English proficiency score. So TOEFL, we're asking for 79. IELTS, we're asking for 6.5. And starting this year, we also accept the Duolingo, and it's 105. If you're coming from the English Language Institute, which is like a English school in Salt Lake City, and if you finish level 8 with a B average, we would take that also. But then there's also a lot of exceptions based on your country of origins and your high school education. So if you're confused, if you don't know if you need to submit a test score, or if your college transcript is enough, just reach out and talk to me or Nathan, and we will figure it out.
Yeah, so the next slide is financial aid. So there are a lot of ways to finance your education, and especially at Westminster too. So upon acceptance, you are considered for a transfer student scholarship. And I would like just to mention one more thing too, in the previous slide with the transfer evaluations as well. So once you submit your transcripts as well as your application, and your application is being reviewed, upon acceptance, you will receive a transfer evaluation as well to see how those credits would transfer over into our various business programs that we have at Westminster. And I can guarantee you that transferring from SLIC, the pathways are very seamless. So mostly all, if not all of the transfer credits will transfer over to Westminster and in the business program, hopefully as well too. So merit-based aid transfer students between $10,000 to $18,000, and those are based off of your cumulative GPA from your previous institution. So if a student attending SLCC and only SLCC, then we will look at the cumulative GPA from that institution. If you've attended multiple institutions, we'll recalculate your GPA from all of those different schools and come up with a cumulative GPA and award as such as well. Another area to get an additional scholarship is Phi Theta Kappa, which is a transfer honor society. And I do know for a fact that SLCC does have an active honor society for PTK as well. So if you are currently active for PTK, you will receive an additional $3,000 from us on top of any merit award too. It may not be too late. I'm not sure of the timeline, but if you aren't currently enrolled in PTK or actively involved, talk to your advisor and see if PTK is available at the institution that you're currently attending. Again, SLCC definitely has one. So any SLCC current students that are attending the session that aren't a part of it, go ask your advisor about it. See how you can get involved potentially as well, because there could be some merit dollars attached to that. And also those are renewable for students who maintain good academic standing all throughout, however, up to 4 years. So it could be locked in for 4 years as well. Some other forms of financial aid, the honors entry scholarship, apply by June 1st. We have talent-based scholarships for music, dance, theater. An audition is required, and for specific majors for those talent-based scholarships, and then athletic scholarships as well. It's best to connect to the coaches through those, because those are out of the admissions office, but still stackable on top of merit, Phi Theta Kappa, and any other scholarships as well. And then and for additional information, you can visit the International Financial Aid website, where there's specific international financial aid information, via alternative loans, various external scholarships. So it definitely will help just to navigate through the page, just to see if there's anything else that might catch your eye that can help towards your education.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tal. Okay, and then. All right, so the last thing is your F1 student visa. So most of you are probably on the F1 right now. So we would need to transfer, when it's time, we'll need to transfer your I-20, your form I-20 to Westminster. So it's just like every international student have one form I-20, and it kind of just follow you where you go. So to transfer it, it's very similar to when you apply for the F1 visa the very beginning, the very first time. So you will need to provide financial proof that you have enough funding to cover the cost of attendance. So at Westminster, it would be the remaining cost after your scholarships and your Phi Theta Kappa and honor scholarship and anything like that. So we would need a bank statement, a passport, the personal information page, and then the statement of financial responsibility is a really simple form. You just kind of fill out, like, let's say who's paying for your education. If it's yourself, then you just write your name and sign, or if it's your parents, then it's just their name, their bank informations, and their signature. And then, so the first 3 is what you're gonna submit. And then once you hear back from us saying that like everything looks good, then we will give you a CVIS transfer in form, and you will ask your current college to fill this out and then email it to us. Yep. And then that's it. And then usually the transfer date is at the end of your semester, because once you transfer, let's say you're at Salt Lake Community College right now, right? If you transfer like today, then you can't take classes anymore. So it's usually happen after you're done with that semester. And if you're working on your OPT, just keep in mind the transfer dates will kind of like end that also. So yeah, we're definitely here to figure out that transfer dates with you and your college. So again, let us know if you have any questions. And then with that, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and we got back to the meeting. It feels so much better to see everybody again. But yeah, I am gonna pass the time to Örn, and he's hopefully can tell us a little bit about the School of Business.
Thank you, Nguyen, and I'm going to share screen with everybody today. First of all, it's a pleasure to meet all of you, although I can't see you. I know we have a group of people, including 3 from Salt Lake Community College, that are with us tonight. So I'm very, very happy that you have taken some time out of your busy schedules to not only learn about Westminster College, but also about our business school. Once again, my name is Örn Bodvarsson, and I am the Dean of the Bill and Vieve Gore School of Business. I'm also a professor of economics. All of my education is in the field of economics. This is our building on the Westminster campus. We call it the Gore building, and it is where all of our faculty are, all of our classrooms, everything that has to do with teaching students business and doing business in general is within this building. So you would have noticed the name Bill and Vieve Gore. Who are Bill and Vieve Gore? So Bill and Vieve Gore are a late husband and wife couple who gave a very generous sum of money to establish our school. So that is why the school is named after them. And both of them attended Westminster. Vieve actually got a degree, a bachelor's degree at Westminster. She didn't graduate in business. Bill started at Westminster for 2 years, then he transferred to the University of Utah and he got a degree in chemistry. So Bill and Vieve Gore started a little company in their house called W.L. Gore and Associates. It has now grown into a international $3 billion a year in sales company. They are best known for a product called Gore-Tex, and this is a waterproof, breathable fabric membrane that you will find in outdoor clothing, in rain jackets, and in all kinds of clothing that's used for the outdoors, whether it's hiking, skiing, and so forth. It's a marvelous product. They make lots of other kinds of things, but they're best known for Gore-Tex. So there's lots of business schools out there, folks, and here in the state of Utah, there are a wide variety of business schools. Right here in the Salt Lake Valley, there's a handful of them, and they're all very good. But why come to us? I'll tell you why. First of all, we are the best business school in the state. There's no question about it. We're small, but we're darn good. And here's why. We have an exceptional faculty. we only hire the very, very best teachers. And that's what matters most for you, is quality of teaching, both in and out of the classroom. The other thing about us that makes us different from the other business schools is that about 60% of our faculty have come from long careers in industry. They've either come straight from industry into teaching, or they went from industry into PhD programs and then got degrees and then went into teaching. What this means is that you're going to get a very applied kind of business education. These are people that have run businesses. They know what the business world wants in terms of skills. And so they really give you a leading edge applied kind of education. Students love it. And if you look at how our graduates have done, a big reason that they're so successful is because of the applied education that they've gotten. So we offer traditional business programs. I'll take a little later, I'll tell you specifically the programs we have. Some of our programs are cross-disciplinary, and we also offer what are called project-based programs, and I'll explain that to you in a minute. We're known for small classes. A typical class in the Gore building will have anywhere from 15 up to 30. You're never going to see large lecture hall classes with 50, 100, 200 people. We don't do that here. We pride ourselves on really small, intimate learning environments. You'll get lots of one-on-one attention from faculty, not from graduate assistants, but from full-time faculty. There's lots of opportunities to work in teams and learn by doing. You'll get to know your fellow students extremely well, and there's just a really strong sense of community here in the Gore School. Every student can have a mentor, and most of our students do an internship because they have to, but it turns out they also love to do an internship. We have a great alumni community. I'll share you some stories about our alumni, and then we have a great regional reputation. Frankly, I think we're the best business school not only in the state of Utah, but in the Rocky Mountain Belt. So our school at a glance, we have about 350 undergraduate majors, and we have 150 graduate students. And by the way, come here, do your undergraduate degree, and stick around and get a graduate degree. We'd love that. We have about 24 faculty. That includes 20 full-time and then 4 people that are either on half-time or 3/4 time contracts. We have 20 adjunct faculty, and then we have 6 staff. We have 5 divisions, which are, you can consider those as departments. And we have a really cool center that we just recently established. It's called the Westminster Center for Financial Wellness, and its mission is to promote financial literacy and wellness among the student body, among the employee pool, and out in the community. Very, very exciting center. So here are the programs of study that are available. We have altogether 8 sort of regular kinds of undergraduate majors, and then we have a project-based major. We've got finance, marketing, management, and accounting. 2 of our panelists today are accounting majors. Very happy to have them. We offer a bachelor's program in economics, but there's 2 kinds. There's the BA and the BS. If you do the BA, you have 4 tracks to choose from. You can choose kind of a liberal arts track, a pre-law track, a math kind of quantitative track, and then a theory and policy track. Then we have a BS in economics, and this is basically a business economics bachelor's. You do the business core along with the other business majors, and then you take economics classes. We have an international business major and a very cool sports management major. And then we have a special program. It's called the Bachelor's of Business Administration. It is an online program, and it's project-based. And what that means is that you don't take regular classes where you go into a classroom and sit for an hour or 2, 3 days a week or 2 days a week. Rather, you study online, and the teaching that you get is mentoring. You are mentored by a faculty coach on a one-on-one basis, and you complete projects. You don't complete courses. It's a really cool program that's popular with students that come from SLIC, as well as students that have been out of school for a while and they're working in business and they want to come back and finish their degrees. We have 3 minors. Most of our traditional business disciplines offer minors, so you can minor in finance, you can minor in marketing, minor in management, and so forth. We have an entrepreneurship minor, which is very cool. And then we have a minor for non-business majors. It's called the general business minor. If you decide you want to major in something else outside of business, that's cool. You can still minor in business. And it's basically a 15-credit program where you take a variety of basic business courses that complement the field that you're studying outside of business. Our degree requirements are fairly traditional. You come in and you do 25 credits of a lower division business core, average of 25 credits. Then you do 25 credits of an upper division core, followed by 8 to 12 credits of electives. You need 120 credits to graduate, but basically roughly 62 of those credits are business courses. And then, except if you are in that Bachelor of Business Administration program or doing the BA in economics, you have to do an internship. So most of our students do internships. Now, as we say, the proof of the pudding is in the taste. How do our graduates actually do? I want to share with you some stories of some American students that have come through our school, as well as some international students. So here's one, Michael Urey, who graduated with an accounting degree in 2001. He went on to get an MBA from University of Chicago. He is now the president and CEO of a New York Stock Exchange listed company called Western Midstream Partners. He is a major player in the oil patch down in Houston. He has done spectacularly well in his career. Abby Spiker, she was a joint business and honors major. She came through the honors college, and she is a very, very well-regarded entrepreneur. She's nationally known. She took her undergraduate degree in international business. She was recently named to the Forbes list of 30 under 30 in enterprise technology, and she founded a company called Dart Drones, which uses drones for a wide variety of things. She appeared on Shark Tank to raise capital, and literally minutes into the show, Mark Cuban, who's the famous panelist on Shark Tank, matched all of her asks. So that's where she achieved her fame on TV. She's gone on to run a tremendous business. Here's another one, Teresa Bagdasarova. She was born in the U.S., but she's the daughter of Armenian immigrants. She is very much into entrepreneurship. She won an entrepreneurship competition that we have in the school. She received grant money to create after-school arts clubs for a community organization. She has received some awards, and she's very active in the nonprofit sector here in Salt Lake City. Now, some international alums. Francesca Scopello is originally from Italy. She recently graduated with a finance degree, and she is now an investment banking analyst at Goldman Sachs in Salt Lake City. Marcelo Costa, originally from South America. He is an MBA. He is now a senior R&D engineer manager at Verix Imaging Corporation. Bottom line, our alums do great. We have a 100% placement rate. We have great relationships with local companies. We really beat all the other institutions as far as where we were able to place our students. Westminster has a great reputation, and that's really important for you folks who are thinking about staying in the United States and getting jobs or going overseas. Our reputation will follow you overseas. So I want to thank you for your time, and I will leave my email address and other contact information in the chat box. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Örn. Maybe you can exit out of screen. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, will do.
That's awesome. I love learning so much about the business school. And I actually talked to Francesca she's applying to a Master of Accounting program, I think. And she'll start in the fall. Yeah. So that's really, really great. And just a reminder, so if you guys have any questions, you can put it in the chat, or you can come unmute and ask it. But we will definitely revisit all of these questions at the end. So without further ado, I I am so excited to hear from our two current international students, V and Ying. And we just have some questions for V and Ying. And yeah, so I'll start with the first question. So my first question is for you guys, and feel free to come unmute and answer it. How did you first hear about Westminster College, and what led you to choose Westminster?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
Sorry, yeah, you can go first.
Okay. So the reason why that I chose Westminster, it was because of my cousin. So she was the one who introduced me to Westminster College, because when I was in Vietnam, I didn't have a chance to actually look into Westminster College because it was a smaller college. And I thought it was okay. It was just like another college, like solid community college, right? But I was totally wrong. And I came here and talked to my cousin, and she's graduated from Westminster, also majoring in accounting, and she now a lawyer. So she's very successful. Yeah, and now she's she inspired me a lot. She's my inspiration. She's my model that I can follow her and stuff. And another reason why I chose Westminster was because of the campus. It was a very cute campus. It's a very small. I can walk around. Yes, right there. Thanks, Quynh. And then everybody's very like friendly, and everybody know each other in the campus. So I'm like, that's a perfect place for me. That's why I chose Westminster, and also has scholarship too. So it helped a lot with like tuition and stuff. So the tuition like last year was $38,000, but thanks for all the help and stuff. I had scholarships, so I only had to pay $10,000 for the whole year. It was such a great opportunity for me. So I'm very grateful. And then I chose the right school for me.
Yeah, awesome. What about you, Ying?
All right, so so actually when I first came here, I attended the University of Utah, and then I transferred to Salt Lake Community College. So having said that, initially I have no idea about Westminster College. Like I don't know anything about Westminster College. And then I already know V when I was at Salt Lake Community College, and she already attended Westminster College before me one semester. And then I just asked her, how was your school, and how was your experience at Westminster College? And then she told me endlessly about her inspiration about Westminster College, including the people there, like friendly people, the environment, and the class size, and the scholarship, the everything about that. And then I just thought that, wow, that sounds great. And then I just went back home, and then I shared that with my cousin, and then he told me that yeah, that was a great school. When he was in the college, he would like to attend that school, but he didn't know anything about that. So he just advised me to take a tour, the campus tour in the Westminster College, to see I love this school or not. And then yeah, so after that I registered to attend the campus tour. And then a girl who is in international office took me around the school, and they're similar to me. I love the environment because everything look cute. It's not similar to another college that I attend that like it has the forest, like student can grow their flower or something like that in their forest. And then it's like, yeah, it's really nice. And then the people, they are so friendly. Like when I was on the campus tour, everyone around just, hey, hi someone, like they know everyone. Why it's a big school, you know? So it's inspired me a lot. And then yeah, and when I went back home, I did a research about Westminster College, about the business, and I realized that Westminster College is really famous about business, which is my major as well. So that's why I chose Westminster College.
That is so awesome. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, so that's great. And my next question is, have you participated in any internships or if you worked on campus? And if you have done those kind of thing, please tell us, kind of like describe your experience with your internships or your work, and maybe how these experiences helped you with, in your personal and career goals.
All right, so I can go first for this question. So actually, I don't have any internship right now, and I'm not working on campus either. But but I at the Westminster College, it has career center, and I feel like it's really helpful for me to prepare for my near future job. And because as an international student, I have a lot of struggle in my language and how to communicate and how to deal with hire and how to prepare for the interview. So even though I'm not working right now, I don't have any internship, but Westminster College is always, like career center is always available for me, for us in general, to help me to prepare for how to look for a job in the future. And also they also help me how to prepare for the good interview. And yeah, they help me with everything about that.
Sorry. Sorry, okay, it's my turn. Sorry. Because I'm majoring in accounting, so that's why I did an internship with VITA Tax Clinic. It was also the Westminster-based clinic for doing taxes for free for everyone, especially people, low-income families, people with disabilities, and people with limited English skill, and especially immigrants. So it was such a great experience for me, and I did last year for 6 months during COVID. So it was such a great experience for me to learn more about accounting as my major and learn more about the tax law and everything's in America. And it was such a great experience. So I recommend, if any of you guys planning to major in accounting or finance or anything business, and you want to get to know more about the business world out there, just make sure you sign up for an internship at VITA Tax Clinic if you want to explore yourself.
Sorry, and I would like to say something more about that. Yeah, because right now I'm doing for tax clinic, but I almost forgot. So don't worry that if you don't have any experience or you have no idea about tax, don't worry about that at all. Because at Westminster College, it's really cool that it has Westminster Tax Clinic, and as a student, you can register for as credit internship, or you just become a volunteer to work there to learn more about that. And they don't require any experience. They don't require any knowledge about tax. They just have 3 to 5 days for the training, and they will teach you the basic knowledge about tax in those days. And after that, you will be able to work directly with the clients. But no worry at all, because it doesn't matter if you don't know anything. Just reach out to the supervisor. She's so super nice, and then she will teach you everything. Even you have no idea about tax, no knowledge, not any experience, don't worry about that. Just go ahead and then register for that to learn about that.
Do you feel like you've learned a lot after you've done it, 6 months or however long?
Yeah, so right now I'm still doing that, and it already grew like several months, and then I learned a lot from that. It doesn't relate to accounting, it's special tax only, but I learned many skills, like how to deal with people, how to help people, and even the problem solving skill. And I learned many things about the laws in the US, because tax is a part of the federal law. So it is so good for us as an international student to know the law in the US, right? So yeah, so you can learn many things, not only about tax, not only about business only, it's about everything a lot. So it's really helpful. I also would recommend you to register for that. It no matter what your major is, just register if you feel like you are interested in and you feel like you want to learn some more news about that.
I want to talk a little bit more about another tools that I use during the time here that is very useful. Besides Vita Text Connect, that might help you with your experience when you can put on your resume, so you can get and apply for a job in the future. And another tool that's very helpful at Westminster College is Handshake through Career Center. So I use Handshake to find jobs that actually willing to sponsor international students under H-1B visa and AB3 or any kind of work visa. So it's a really helpful tool. And I really recommend you guys, before you actually looking for a job or an internship, you should go talk to Lisa and Chris. They help a lot with like mock interview and resume and cover letter for you guys to be more ready to get into the real world to get find a job.
Yeah, thank you. I love Handshake. It's a platform that we use to post even like I just posted a student job for international admissions on there too. So it's both like on campus job and outside of campus, and it has so many events and tips, like how do you do a virtual interview like right now. Yeah, so I love Handshake. And then also, fun fact, I actually went to this tax institute back in February this year with my big grocery bags of paper. And it was really nice because I bought a house last year. So, like I didn't trust myself to file tax after I bought the house. At least the first year. So I went and I sit down with a Westminster student, and he helps me fill everything really fast, and he helped me answer any questions because I always have a list of questions to ask. And then after that, I wait, and then there's a supervisor to like look through everything and make sure one more time answer all of my questions. And I think, what's her name? She's a professor here at Westminster.
Giovanna.
Giovanna, yeah, she's so good. Oh, she's so good. I want to grow up and be like Giovanna because she's so good. Like she can do the tax form and she can answer the questions like to the T. It's a really good experience, and I can look around and see a lot of people. Like sometimes family come in and they take all the kids, and because with kids with dependents, that's gonna change on your tax too. So I like super happy that you guys got that kind of experience. And then I have one last questions for V and Ing, and then we're gonna open the panel up. But don't forget to think about what you need from us, what kind of support, what kind of questions. If you're, if there's something is unclear, feel free to pop it into the chat and we will revisit it toward the end. So my last questions for V and Ing is how is your Westminster experience? When you think of like classroom, people, the campus, how is that different than your previous school, which is Salt Lake Community College? Or like for Ing, it would be the other school, the University of Utah English, Institute.
So for me, the difference between Salt Lake Community College and Westminster College is probably the class size and the environment for sure. So I feel like I was prepared to go to Salt Lake Community College just to get the associate's degree. So I actually didn't like pay attention like 100% like activities or anything, but actually did like some work for their international student office for tuition waiver, and it was very nice too. But compared to like Westminster College, I actually hear, and actually the people at Salt Lake Community College, because it's like a community college, people come and go, and they don't think of a future like, okay, I'm gonna stay here and get a bachelor degree. So that's why they don't take it as serious as Westminster College, because it's a university. So I feel like here at Westminster College, people take things more seriously. Like they're focusing on their career and how to reach their goals at doing well in school and activities and stuff. So they more like a community for people here. Yeah, compared to Solid Community College, that people just go to the college and go home, and that's it. They don't talk to anybody.
All right, so similar to V, the difference between my Rivers Institute and Westminster College is that the class size is small, and thanks to that, it's easy for me to connect to the professor and everyone. Like I know almost my friends and professor, and I feel like we don't have the distance to connect, because when I was in another school, I felt shy because of my language. But when I'm at Westminster College, I feel like because everyone is so close to each other, so it's easy to connect, and there is no reason to be shy and something like that. And then another different thing is that so at Westminster College, there was a time I felt like that I could fail my class, and then it's not really easy for me to understand everything in class, because English is not my first language. But it's great that the professor, they understand that, and then the professor at Westminster College, they didn't care about, they didn't focus on your grade only. They will focus on how you understand, how your knowledge about that, and it make me feel like, oh, it's really helpful. And another thing is that I'm a member of Legacy program, and that's a really good program at Westminster College. So thanks to that program, I can build my connection a lot, and then I can learn many skills about how to build community, and then they are always by my side to support my learning and to support my mental health. And they also have a mentor for me. So whenever I have difficulty in learning or have any difficulty here, I just can email them, and they are always available to be by my side. That's a really good program at Westminster College too.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. And I actually was also like 10 years ago, I did went to Solid Community College too, and I love, like I always have a sweet spot for Solid Community College. The environment is just different, and the class size is similar, but just a different environment. And I think we all share that path of doing 2 years as a community college and then transfer. So then you have network from both schools, and that's super great. Yeah, so we have a few questions in the chat, and I'm just gonna read them, and if anyone wants to chime in, you can come unmute and kind of answer that. So I guess I can take the first question, and it's is PTK the same with honors college or not? So the PTK is a separate scholarships from our honor college. So the PTK is like an honor society that a lot of community colleges have the chapters at the school that you can join, like you can join right now. And the honors college at Westminster, you would apply to the honor college when you apply to Westminster, and in order to get the honor scholarship, you would have to apply for the honor scholarship. So let's say you're ready to apply this fall semester, you have to fill out 3 applications: the Westminster application, the honor applications, and the honor scholarship applications. And the honor scholarship application for transfer student the deadline is June 1st, so you can still apply. You have about a month, right? So whenever, and it's so good that you're here, because you can learn about all these deadlines, because there's a lot of deadline when you're trying to transfer, and just a lot of things. So great questions on that. And I think, let's see, second question is how and where can we find more scholarships or financial support for international students. So I see that Tal kind of dropped a link for the international student financial aid website on there, but I want to ask Örn and V and Ing if you can think of other kind of like scholarship, maybe like business scholarship or any kind of financial support.
Sure, if I can go first. So in addition to the campus-wide scholarships, which I know have already been discussed, we do have in the Gore School of Business a variety of scholarships. They're not huge, they're kind of smaller awards, but they are available to our students. So we have a number of small scholarships. When I say small, we'd be talking, you know, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a year to the student in specific areas of study. So if you're a finance major, you're eligible for you can apply for an endowed finance scholarship. The same thing in accounting. The same thing in the other fields. So we have those. In fact, a fair number of those. We recently received a large endowment, which will allow us to award 2 or 3 undergraduate scholarships to any undergraduate business major. We're still trying to figure out how much we want to award, but they will result in 2 or 3 scholarships. And then if you're interested in this Bachelor of Business Administration program that I talked about earlier, which is this online project-based program, we recently received some funding that will allow us to award a reasonable number of 2-year scholarships for students that go into that program. And Tal has been involved in that, but essentially it will be a nice financial aid offering for students that go into that program. So, you know, I am certainly happy to explore, you know, whatever opportunities there are within the School of Business for scholarships. Some of these scholarships are for U.S. citizens. Others are available to anyone.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I just want to add in something. So for international students, because of the student visa, so students have to attend in person. So for online program, students may not be qualified for like a program
Yes.
with a strong online component. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
Right. Yeah, but lots of opportunities for everything else. There's, you know, 8 more majors to choose. So yeah.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, B.
We're just gonna share a little bit about the scholarship that I had. It's also very helpful. It's called Legacy Program. So yeah, so I had a scholarship with it. It's like such a great experience for me to be part of Legacy, because it's the scholarship for first-year student who actually the first-year college student who be the first person to attend college in the United States, and people with needs help with like financially kind of thing. And then with Legacy Program, it depends on your GPA and your essay and everything they require. You're gonna have scholarship, like book scholarship, up to $1,000 a year, and then beside that is $3,000 on top of that. So I had $4,000 from Legacy Program, and it was such a great program for students, especially international students. I feel like most of us are like first-year college students, so I hope that will help you guys with financial, financials kind of thing, financial aid.
Yes. Oh, Ing, do you want to come in? Perfect.
Yeah, sorry. So so there are 2 more, there are 1 more, another scholarship that is good for international student, but like it's not for transfer, like it's not for now, but after you are a student of Westminster College for 1 semester, you can apply for continuing scholarship if you would like to go keep studying at Westminster College. And then if for the continuous continuing scholarship program. There you just need to apply an essay, and then there are a bunch of questions, and they will based on that question, and they will contact to the different sponsor, and then based on your based on where you come from and based on the question you answer, there are some sponsor would give you the amount of scholarship. So for me, I got 2 sponsorship from that continuing scholarship program, and that was really helpful. Yeah, so but it's for after you are a student at Westminster College.
Yes, I love that you guys talk about those. Yes, the continued student scholarships are for continued students. So you do have to be at Westminster for, I think, a semester or maybe a year. I'm not sure, but it's really nice. It's one application, you fill it out, and then it would like apply to many different scholarships. And you just have to do it like every year, I think. But yeah, and the legacy program is for first generation college students. And I keep telling all of the international students about it because, for example, my parents went to college in Vietnam, but because they didn't go to college in the US, I am still first generation college students. So it's a really great group, and not just for the money that you get, but for the mentor, right? And going back to international students, you have 4 years to build up a professional network. And instead with like instead of with someone who's grown up here, so it's great networking opportunities there. And then we have 2 questions that kind of relate to business. So number 1 is where can we find more information about the business specific scholarships? Is there a website maybe?
I can help with that. We don't have like a publication or anything posted on the website which shows what specifically are the scholarships for business students. But I put my email address in the chat box, and if anyone would like to learn, I will be happy to research that for you and let you know what kinds of scholarships you would be eligible for. Each scholarship endowment has its own criteria, and some of those criteria are around nationality status.
All right, I'm going to step in for just a second. There was another question by Wendy that asked, the jobs are for current students at Westminster College, right? That is true, but the handshake program, I've heard from Trisha, who works in our Career Center office, that there was a student that registered for classes. So they've enrolled in the summer before they started in the fall. And the student actually was able to get into Handshake and apply for actually a position on campus. So they actually started their job on campus in the summer before they actually started class in the fall. So it's very important that after you pay your enrollment deposit, to go through the Griffin Gear Up, or to at least get registered for your classes, so that you can then access the resources of the Handshake in our Career Services Center. So you could potentially, and actually I know for a fact that there are a lot of job opportunities right now, because we've done a hybrid system of teaching this past summer. We're planning to go full on this fall in the classroom, but I know that there's a lot of professors, and even our international admissions office, we're seeking people through the Handshake to work in our office as well. So I know there's a lack of students, working right now, but there's a lot of potential for jobs on campus right now in particular. So I just wanted to be able to say that. Also with our career services, once you become a Westminster student, that is good for life. Like, you can come back after you've graduated, maybe you're deciding you want to change careers or something like that. You can go to the Career Center and they can help you. Most other colleges charge you money to be able to go back to the Career Center and seek out advice. So I wanted to say that.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I actually attended a Westminster which is really fun. It's an event where we bring the alumni and the staff and the students all together, and it was through Zoom this year, and they have each person's write their name and kind of like the year they graduate, and some people like graduate in 2000, 2003, you know, like a long time ago. But our Westminster like alumni network is really strong, and people just enjoy coming back to the community. And once you're a part of the community, you're never not a part of the community. Just keep your GPA up. But yeah, it's a really great event, and we have really great, like even for me as a staff, I get to learn a lot more about Westminster alumni and what they're doing, and then yeah, I connect with them on LinkedIn. It's a really great event. And we have a questions about how does our business professors bring real business experience into the classrooms?
Well, the professors that have been out in industry for many years are able to develop special curricula and build their courses around particular techniques, whether they be particular kinds of software or analytical processes such as data analytics that are used in business, because they have firsthand experience using those things. I mean, someone who has not been in industry may have used some of these techniques in their research, but they haven't used them in a practical business setting. And so what the particular faculty are able to do is to build these techniques right into their course syllabi and develop applications that mimic what you see in a business setting. It's not a hypothetical, it's actually an exact replica of what you would see in a business setting, and that's just incredibly useful stuff. One fundamental example would be spreadsheet analysis, that there are certain ways that spreadsheet analysis is used in certain kinds of industries, and the professor can, you know, build a course around what is actually done out there in the field. So the students, you know, a student coming out of our program doesn't need the training that someone would need if they came out of a program which was primarily taught by purely academic faculty.
Thank you. Yeah, and that's I'm trying to think. I think we also participate as a college, as a group of students participate in the annual business valuation competitions.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great example. That is a team of students who compete in a national business valuation challenge. They are given the task of valuing a business that is private, and the business is typically going to go public, so it needs a proper valuation. And so one of our finance professors who has great experience in this area coaches the teams, helps them build their skills up. They go through mock situations, and then they go and compete with other teams from around the United States. And 2 years ago, our business valuation team, two of our teams took first and third places nationally. And then this past year, they took third place. It was a virtual competition, but they took third place. So we do exceedingly well. I mean, we're beating out these really large schools that participate. So that's another example of the kind of really applied education that we're able to provide.
Thank you. All right, I'm kind of trying to screen out the questions. Oh yeah, so Ying, do you want to say something about because there's some confusion with legacy.
Legacy versus continuing student scholarship.
Right.
All right. So for about the legacy program is for first generation college student. So someone worried that if they are the freshmen, how they can apply for that. So the good news is that legacy program has two options. One is for freshmen and another one is for transferring student. So it doesn't matter what year you are at, you can still apply for legacy program. Just make sure you are the first generation college student and your family low income is low, And yeah, you can become a member of legacy program. But it's just open in fall semester. In spring semester, it's not open. So just make sure you follow the deadline, because it's required an essay and it's required to fill out the application. Yeah. And the continuing scholarship program, I already told that it's for current student only. So after the first semester at Westminster College, if you would like to find more scholarship, you can apply for continuing continuing scholarship.
Great, thank you so much. And so if I heard you correctly, the legacy scholars, they need to apply for now. It's not available starting in January spring semester, but for fall August. Is that correct? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Lynn provided a hyperlink up above there to the Legacy Scholar Program, and it includes both first year and transfer student hyperlinks there on that website that she hyperlinked up above.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're correct. And one more thing I would like to say, there is an interesting thing at Westminster College is that the Westminster College has May term. So that's the really cool thing, because as an international student, we are required to be a full-time student in spring and in fall. So when you are a full-time student in spring, for example, in spring semester, you will get free 2 credits to register for any class in May term. So I saw a question that, is it flexible for you to study any class that to see what area will suit you? So take the free credit in spring and in fall semester and use that for May term, because just Westminster College offer this May term.
Yeah, and and then we also have a questions, and it's I know that Thomas is kind of interested in business majors, but let's see. So his questions was like that was the one that how flexible is the bachelor degree, and like how does he explore the different I think this is what it's about, and Teddy, Thomas, you can just tell me if I'm right or wrong, but yeah, I think you're kind of at a spot from what we were talking about before. I think you're trying to decide if you like which specific business major you want to do, and so that the question is how flexible is the bachelor degree, and how can a student take general classes in all areas and kind of see which one they like best.
Well, I'm happy to answer that one, and perhaps Yen and V can jump in here from the student perspective. So very flexible. So the way that the lower division business core is set up is that you take coursework that spans all of the business disciplines. I mean, these are fundamental, competency building courses. And so you get a sample of marketing, you get a sample of management, you get a sample of accounting. And so through the completion of that lower division business core, you can start getting an idea of what specific area of business you'd like to specialize in. Many of our students will come in to the Gore School without having declared a specific discipline within business. They wait until oftentimes they're in their second year to declare a specific major. So that's very typical, and we really create maximum flexibility on that.
Yeah, I gotta say it's pretty flexible too, because like if you choose a major, maybe so I chose my major as accounting. So I was not just doing accounting for like the last 4 semester. I did also finance, marketing, econ, international econ, and also information technology. So I know what path that I really want to pursue. So don't worry about like the class choices, because there's very flexible, and there are so many classes offered for you for each character that you need to fulfill in order to get your degree. So it's really flexible.
Yeah, and that's one special thing about Westminster is our liberal arts approach, is that we're not only wanting to give our students the training that you need for your one path of career, but we also encourage you to explore other things that you may be interested in, and just kind of study broadly too, because you usually would have to use that knowledge to work with other people, and who knows, there's a lot of kind of jobs that haven't exist yet, so we kind of prepare you like to be success throughout the whole life and not just, oh, this is how you do this one thing. So don't worry, you will have a lot of chance to kind of explore a lot of different things. And then we have a questions from Wendy. What about, so I think you're asking about the 15 college level credits. So that is for your English proficiency requirement. And I remember, I think you're coming from a high school that is IB affiliated or something like that. So if you don't have that 15 college credits and we still need to work on your English proficiency requirement, we can definitely look at other kind of like other ways. So maybe you have a TOEFL score, or maybe it depends on the high school that you were at, but that was just one way to satisfy that English proficiency requirement. And yes, we're still accepting application for the fall semester. However, usually we really encourage students to talk to their advisor at the school. If you're studying at a community college, definitely talk to your advisor there, because there's a lot of benefits to finish your associate degree and then transfer. It just transfer very differently. Like with the associate degree, it help you clear out with a lot of requirements. And I'm not sure, like V and Ing, did you transfer? When like did you do 2 years and then get your degree and transfer? Yeah. Yeah, so definitely talk to your advisor at Slick about when to transfer. And yeah, and then I think I cover everything, but I'm not sure if I missed anything. Any last minute questions? And welcome, Michael. So happy to see you here. You know both V and Ing, right? Is this like a reunion?
Hi, how are you? It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks. I got my dog with me tonight.
That is so cute.
Nighttime work buddy.
Yeah, and then it looks like Teddy just asked us another question. That's so great. So what does success look like for the school? How much does the school success depends on the extent to which local businesses has access to managerial talent? Do you measure the number of startups and associate jobs? All right, who would like to take this question? Is 3 questions. But this is...
Well, it's a complicated question, and hopefully I understand where Teddy is coming from. So one of the things that I have tried very hard to do as the dean, and I've been the dean the past 3 years, is building a lot of bridges with local companies. I put together a board that comprises 12 business leaders in the Salt Lake Valley. Some are from out of state, and there's actually one who's in Vietnam, I should mention. When we have our board meetings, he dials in at 3 o'clock in the morning from Vietnam. But it's very much a two-way relationship. We are able to supply outstanding graduates of our programs to local businesses, as well as businesses that are in other states and other countries. But we rely on employers to tell us what they're looking for in terms of skills. We rely on employers to open their doors to our students so they can have internship opportunities. And we rely on them also for ideas about what kind of programming best suits your needs. What would you be looking like specifically in skills of a finance graduate or a marketing graduate if you were to hire someone into such and such a department? So we have that kind of relationship with them. So I would say that the success of our school depends in part on how well we are able to place our graduates The success of business depends in part on how qualified the graduates that we send to them are, and that part of our success results from this important partnership that we have with the business community. It's very much a two-way relationship. So I hope, Teddy, I've answered your question.
Yeah, thank you for answering the questions. And I am going to leave my email here, and then if anyone would like, you can leave your email at the end too. But we're going to coming to the saying goodbye here. You know, but the question doesn't have to stop right there. So feel free to email me, to email Nathan. I know that Örn and Tal have left their email up there. And if you have questions for V and Ing, just go ahead and email to me and Nathan too, and then we'll help you connect with them. But with that, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to be here and to ask your questions. That show us that you're great students. You ask great questions. You really care for your education, and you do a lot of research and preparing. And we're here to support you in doing all of that. And Westminster is a great place that I for sure think that you will receive the support from everyone, from the alumni, from your friends, from your professors, from the staff, right? So please, it doesn't have to stop here. Feel free to email us your questions. And with that, I wish everybody a great night. And thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Great job coordinating this.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Delighted to be on the panel. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank
Thank
you
you so much.